family of late President John Evans Atta Mills is beginning to open up about what may be the real cause of the death of the former president after years of speculations about the demise of Ghana's third president in the Fourth Republic. Brother of the late President Samuel Atta Mills, in an exclusive interview with Joy News, says sinuses, a health condition the former president developed in 2005, could be part of the complications that led to the death of his brother. Many speculations have been made about circumstances leading to Professor Mills's death. However, in this interview, we're getting a clue of what may be the case.
Anybody who is coming after 10 years to ask for an autopsy report, obviously there must be something wrong with that person. What is his business asking about the autopsy report? Is he a family member? Is he the family head? I'm a blood brother of the president. We are satisfied what killed him. We have a copy of the autopsy report. AMA has a copy of the autopsy report. 37 Military Hospital has a copy of that autopsy report. So what is his business asking this? Look, don't try to divert anything. What is wrong is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. No matter who you are, you cannot touch somebody's grave without informing the family.
What does the report say if you want to help Ghanaians?
The report doesn't say anything. That they stated what killed him. That was it. They stated what killed him. Why is everybody so much interested in what killed Professor Mills? Providing the autopsy report will not solve any problem.
But most especially, this one was also surrounded with a lot of controversies. People were citing several things that might have led to his death, and that's why I think people are asking for the autopsy. So will it be out of place if you tell the people that this is what happened?
Sir, I was with President John Evans Atta Mills on a daily basis. I was there right before he woke up, and I left only when he fell asleep. All the hospital visits that he went on, I was there with him. All the visits, I was there with him. Now, he was a president, so I wasn't well known, and I liked it that way, because there were so many things that I could do for him that I could walk into anybody's office and get any information because they didn't know who I was. We are satisfied with what killed him. He had had a sinus problem. If anybody cares to know, that was around 2015 or 2005, 2006, around that time. And it was that thing that had kept on for some time. And so he had to go for chemotherapy and he had to go for radiotherapy. And with all those complications, those were all part of it. And we are satisfied. There was no foul play. And anybody who will talk about foul play probably knows something that we don't know.
So this afternoon on the polls, we're asking the question, what exactly is this sinuses disease and how fatal can that health condition be to an individual's health? Let's bring in Dr. Thomas Anaba now, Executive Director for the Africa Center for Health Policy Research and Analysis. Doc, thank you for your time. So we're hearing for the very first time what may be leading to the death of the former president. But for you, you're a health expert, so I guess you understand much more the dynamics relating to sinuses. First of all, help us understand that health condition and how fatal it could be to one's health.
Very much. I think the sinus problem, what the senior brother has told us, that he underwent chemotherapy, certainly means that it wasn't an acute sinusitis, which lasts for about 2 to 3 weeks, and with normal saline and nasal decongestant, it can easily be cleared. We have what we call the chronic sinusitis. That is the same, that has the same symptoms.
Dr. Naba, it appears we're having some challenges hearing you. If you could just draw a bit closer so we could hear you better. But you were talking about the differences in the types of that condition that you're pointing to us.
Yes, as I was saying, I said chronic sinusitis, like in the case of the former president, or late former president, can either be a chronic inflammation that has lasted for more than 6 to 8 weeks that antibiotics cannot cure, that other treatments cannot cure. But once he started to, it certainly means that it was a type of cancer. Which one, I don't know. So that required him to go in active therapy. And with that, the prognosis is not very, very good, simply because the area in which it's located is very difficult to manage, especially bleeding. And if it is not caught very early and it disseminates to other tissues close to the brain and other organs like the eyes and then the rest, then it can lead to mortality at any given time. So I think this might have been the cause. I can't tell you exactly the type of cancer it is, but we have different type of cancers that can emerge from the sinus.
So how does it? Yeah, and how does it work on an individual's health? How does it get complicated? Does it bring along other health issues that may further weaken the individual involved?
Passage of air, the person's phonation will change. You see that if he used to speak with a very good voice, he will now be speaking from the nose, and the sound of his speech will look very different from previously. Besides that, it can cause accumulation of byproducts or infection in the sinuses that want to come out and free. Once it can come out, it will cause repeated infection in the nose and all the sinuses. Besides that, it can cause headaches, even severe headaches, and he needs to be on very good antibiotics to take care of painkillers to take care of himself. These are some of the major things that it can cause. Tumors too also disseminate. It weakens your immunity at the same time. Chemotherapy also weakens your immunity. So this can lead to you having been exposed to more infection and more infection. So this is what a tumor in the sinuses can cause to a human being. It can also deform even the palate, the upper part of your mouth. That it can deform it. It can cause an ulcer there that you can be bleeding from it at any given time.
But how about those who are vulnerable to this kind of condition? Is it mostly affecting persons who speak to large audiences, or what really could be the causative factors?
It could be a mental predisposition. It could be just that you've had those who have chronic sinusitis and they don't care of treating it. It could be that you've got a toothache that has transformed into something and affected it. There are several causes for it. Mainly aging. Aging, you can easily develop any cancer. Every aged person has the propensity to develop a cancer of any type, or even sinusitis, because your body cannot defend your system the way it used to defend. Your mother cells to transform into defense cells are weakened, and at any given time you can get an infection. Repeated infection can also lead to whatever translocation or mutation of the genes and give chance to the tumor to be formed. And if it happens that it forms in your nostrils, then it gives you problems. There are even young people who have developed nasal tumors, sinus tumors, not only elderly, but it's more frequent in the elderly.
And what are we to do to guard against such conditions?
You quickly go to see a doctor, and if the doctor cannot, he sends you to an ENT specialist, the ear, nose, throat specialist, and they will do x-rays, do their investigations to determine what is it. Especially you are bleeding all the time from your nostrils. There are several tests they can do to arrive at the conclusion of what they need. So the first thing to do is nasal congestion, repeated headaches, we call it migraine. See an ENT specialist to study you carefully to make a quick diagnosis. If it's not a cancer, that is good. If it is, then they quickly see how they can eliminate it before it spreads.
Anyway, we'll have to leave the conversation here, but I'm grateful for your time, for that education. That's Dr. Thomas Anaba, Executive Director for the Africa Center for Health Policy Research and Analysis. Well, today would have been the 78th birthday of Professor Mills, affectionately called Asum Jehini. Of course, we know that many remember him for that peaceful nature of his. And in Parliament today, some of his former appointees and also some leading members of the House have been sharing their fond memories of the late president.
As a great sportsperson, Mr. Professor Mills championed the cause of hockey in this country. If you go to the Accra Hockey Stadium, no coach will ever speak about hockey and its development without mentioning the name of Professor Mills. It's only the latter-day Accra House of Folk fans who hijacked him, but the development of hockey was under the tutelage of Professor Mills. Those of us who had the opportunity to study law also read a lot of materials by the great professor. It was a great shock to the country, and I pray it doesn't happen again, that all presidents live and see how Ghanaians evaluate their tenure as presidents. So we pray Ghanaians live to evaluate President Kufuor's performance, President Mohammed's performance, President Akufo-Addo's performance. It is in good spirit for Ghanaians to be able to evaluate their performances.
During his tenure as president, Ghana recorded its highest GDP growth rate of 14.4%. Ghana also secured its longest sustained single-digit inflation. It is also significant to note that under his stewardship, Ghana secured its first 1 million metric tons of cocoa production. Ghanaian workers still celebrate him for the successful implementation of the single spine pay policy, which was announced in the final days of the presidency of his predecessor, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. He is credited for improving the wages and quality of life of Ghanaian workers and the overall population. Number 6, believe in the youth. The Asumdue had an abiding and unflinching faith in the capacity and promise of the Ghanaian youth, even in the face of criticism, with some accusing him of being a coach who loves to fail Team B players. He remained unperturbed and kept an inspiring confidence in the young team he assembled to help him govern. As he told some of us, having lectured for some 3 decades, he better appreciated the dynamism and fresh insights that youthfulness brings, and therefore he will encourage and offer opportunities for young people to transform our society with the verve, dynamism, and courage they possess. Public service of integrity came to him naturally. He was absolutely incorruptible, and throughout his service to Ghana as a lecturer, a tax administrator, vice president, and president, never was he embroiled in any scandal. That was a rare achievement for the extremely sensitive positions he held. He had a strict personal policy about gifts and even sought to extend same in his government by banning the acceptance of gifts, including Christmas hampers, which he considered inducements. It is therefore not surprising that during his tenure as president, independent assessors ranked Ghana high on all integrity indicators.